This is Red Light, Green Light 123 with D and Z. Here are your hosts, D and Z. Welcome everybody to this week's episode of Red Light, Green Light 123 with D and Z. I am Z, and here's how it goes. D and I give you our top 1, 2, 3 fantasy starts or green lights, and our top 1, 2, 3 fantasy sits or red lights. Let's start with our red lights. Who are we sitting this week, D?
Okay, I'm sitting Trevor Lawrence against the Baltimore Ravens defense. I'm sitting Dalvin Cook against the Patriots because Minnesota doesn't know how to run the football. It's unbelievable how they do not run the football. And here's my surprise. I am benching DeAndre Swift against the Buffalo Bills in favor of Jamal Williams.
Wow. Well, that makes sense. He's a touchdown vulture. Like Jamal Williams, he is this generation's John Kuhn. Like he's getting the touchdown. I am with you on that. Red lights for me. I'm going with the Giants D against the Cowboys. I think they're going to get shredded by Pollard and Zeke. You know, they kind of got exposed on the ground with Swift and Williams in that loss to Detroit. So if you have the Giants D, look elsewhere this week.
If you got a Giant D, look elsewhere next week.
Oh my goodness. I also sit Brandon Cooks. I don't know why you'd be starting Brandon Cooks, but sit Brandon Cooks. If you're starting Brandon Cooks, you're probably in last place. But you might want to sit him anyway because Davis Mills is not the starting quarterback. Kyle Allen is the starting quarterback, and that is definitely going to be a step backwards. And couple that with the fact that they're playing the Dolphins D, that is not going to be a good look for Mr. Cooks. And last but not least, pretty much any Rams skill position player at this point. No Stafford, no Wolford, no Henderson, no Kupp, no Shot. Like Perkins, this undrafted free agent against the Chiefs D. No, Higbee's gonna have a bad game. Skoranek, like if you're playing Ben Skoranek, something has gone awfully wrong. So, I just nobody. If you're a skill position player on the Rams, sit them. Do yourself the favor and sit them. Those are our red lights. Who are our green lights for this week, Dave?
All right, so my first green light is actually playing tomorrow. It's Josh Allen. I'm loving him against Detroit tomorrow on Turkey Day. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair with Buffalo edging out Detroit in a shootout. And next is the Dallas defense against that terrible Giant offense. I understand Barkley's the leading rusher, but that Dallas defense, man, Dan Quinn, dude knows how to coach defense. And my last is Leonard Fournette against the Browns. He catches the ball out of the backfield a lot he catches the ball out of the backfield for the Bucs, and he's also their goal line guy. And after a week of, relaxing, I think he's in for a heavy dose this weekend.
All fair. I think that for me, number one green light plays tomorrow night as well. It is Ramondre Stevenson of the Patriots. I think he's going to have a monster game. The Vikings are definitely going to get shredded on the ground. I have them winning, but I still think that Stevenson and even Damian Harris is going to get into the action, but Stevenson is going to have a better game than Harris overall. Number two, my second green light. Elijah Moore of the Jets. From the simple fact that Zach Wilson is not his quarterback. Mike White is going to get him the ball. Elijah Moore, Elijah Moore, Elijah Moore. And my third green light. Brandon Ayuk of the San Francisco 49ers. He's coming on hard. Right? Everybody teasing on Debo. Everybody keys in on Kittle. Everybody keys in on McCaffrey. Ayuk gets to fly under the radar and just do what he does. He's having a fantastic year, and I think that is going to continue against a suspect Saints defense. But those are our picks. What are your picks? Hit us up, faderoutemail@gmail.com, or slide in those DMs on IG at FadeRoutePodcast, or drop us a line on Twitter at FadeRouteDNZ. But it's time for us to run the go route again. We'll talk to you next week. And a happy Thanksgiving. If you want to get on the action, we want to hear from you. Hit us up, faderoutemail@gmail.com. Slide in our DMs on IG at FadeRoutePodcast. Drop us a DM on Twitter at FadeRouteDNZ. Comment on our YouTube channel, The Fade Route with DNZ. Questions, comments, picks, segment suggestions, you name it, we want to hear from you. Get at us, in crowd. Thanks for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you like what you heard and want to hear more, be sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Rate us 5 stars, leave us a review, turn on subscription notifications, and tell your friends. Spread the word, spread it wide.